Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Recap and Record podcast. My name's Levi, this is Los, and the Strong Boys are in the house, and the secret's out. I mean, let's go. We got Hold Your Tongue, Baby Jace, because you don't know who you're talking to. We'll get to it. Listen, it's...
he was getting spicy with his mom.
This was the penultimate episode, and boy, oh boy, if history doesn't repeat itself, I had a thought when I was texting you these words. I was like, did we say the same? This penultimate episode does not have the energy of a Game of Thrones penultimate episode, and I guess now we can officially say that, look, it's not Game of Thrones, and we're just not following the same format, I guess.
I guess so.
Because if like last season, episode 1, season 1, episode 9, I think it was the penultimate.
Did they do 10?
They did 10 episodes, right? They did 10 episodes last season.
We're getting ripped off. We're already getting ripped off.
And so it's just like one of these things where, bro, I was going to save this until next week to reserve anything that might be coming, but I feel like I have to bring it up now. I've been seeing season 2 hate all week long.
I have two. And it's crazy because I defend the show. You know what I'm saying? It was last week I posted something and somebody was like, "Oh, lazy writing. Yeah. The writing this season sucks." And I was thinking, well, I can't say that because I don't know what to expect. I don't know where this show was going. And I wonder when people were watching Game of Thrones season 1 and season 2, when it was airing, if they felt the same way. Did they know the direction? But it's like, I'm not going to read the books, right? I understand that there's another lore there.
Well, and
so it's like, so is it bad writing because they're not following the books?
Right.
Or is it bad writing because you think the TV show sucks? Or is it what makes it bad writing? But I can see there are holes. There's definitely holes in the writing.
Well, there's that, and there's also differences. I have about 3 or 4 this episode from the books to the show.
Yes.
And that's also just a point that what we were even asking last week with the continuance of this episode is like, wait, why is he a dragon? Why did the dragon pick him?
Yes.
So essentially, Addam is described as a dragon seed, and basically what we need to know is that Corlys and Rhaenys were not the first Valyrian Targaryen couple. Targaryens and Valyrians have been married and intercoursing for years. So
cool.
It's common. It's not very common because, like they said, they're mostly salt and sea, whatever. And so, but some of them, like we've seen, can be dragon riders. So but also, just one more small thing.
No, you're good.
Just based on another fact that they did change from the book, the rumors of the bastards in regards to Rhaenyra and Jace and even Corlys and now these boys, Addam and Alan, those in the books were just rumors and were never really verified. And in the lore, Addam and Alan were the bastards of Laenor. And this whole story about him being gay was for the show, and in the books, that was just kind of a whisper, a rumor. Some people thought it, some people didn't, and that he actually bared those to his children. But because we had already sent him off on his little gay pride parade, we're now switching that up to Corlys to take that role. So the books to the show just so it's like we can't really ever tell what's coming. And we'll get to more of those changes in a minute, but
so even with the Laenor thing and even with Seasmoke, so a lot of people, I even seen people arguing, like, they were like, oh, well, obviously Laenor died because this dragon can't fly. And I was like, yeah, but that's not obvious because they did not depict it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it is strange for you guys to make this whole new thing up where you change the ending of his story, but like it mattered. His ending matters because you have this other conflict, and what you did was because you changed the ending, you created a plot hole.
Yep.
And it's like, and people were like, well, obviously, but it's like, no, it's not obvious because I'm thinking, because the way Game of Thrones is, a motherfucker might come back to life. for all I know.
Right.
But
And I mean,
but you're saying like it's obvious that he has to be dead in order for Seasmoke to bond with him. That's fine. But you know what? It makes a lot more sense.
Then give us but they always give us those lines. When we need those one-liners to kind of sew up that whole storyline, we usually get them, and we haven't. No, like it would just be like Rhaenyra saying, or someone coming to Rhaenyra who knows her saying, man, we got word. Laenor is, like,
well, they said, because remember, obviously it's a secret, but people were like, whoa, isn't it obvious when she said that the dragon was restless, that he died? I'm like, no, that's not obvious. What the fuck? Like, what are you talking about?
Right, she's keeping up appearances. She has to keep up appearances. If she lets it slip that he's still alive, then the whole house of cards falls apart. So she never knows who's, and I think Mysaria at that time was standing right there. So of course she had to say, and they weren't making out at that point in time yet. So like she didn't know how she could trust her.
How far can she trust her? Yeah. So, but you know what? The fact that you're saying that these boys should be Laenor's kids, that actually makes more sense with the fact that Addam is a dragon rider then, because then you do have Targaryen, like even if you're a bastard, well, because Laenor is a Targaryen. At the end of the day, he is still Targaryen. I mean, through his mother. Yeah. So that would make more sense. But the fact that these are Corlys's bastards on the show, it does make you feel like, whoa. But when I seen in the inside the episode, the directors, they was like, well, no, actually, we want it to be a mystery. Like, you're not supposed to know why a dragon bonds with somebody more than the other. It's just, and I was like, okay, I can,
and we're gonna,
I can live with that, but at the same time, like, y'all playing games.
We're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that in directly 1 minute.
All right. So speaking of penultimate, right? Yeah. So like you said, man, like we expect a certain energy. Yep. You know what I mean? I got a text to talk about like, oh my God, this was great. And I said, well, yes, this was a good episode. But
there were already 2 better other episodes this season.
Yes, but was it penultimate good? Right. Like I think it was theatric, because we see that last scene where she's like the dragon mother. You know what I mean? Like that looks dope, but I'm like, that's not enough for me.
Right. It ended, and I was like, what?
Like exactly. I thought they did it because they did the black screen thing once, and then it continued, and I was like,
bastards, all of them.
And I was like, oh, y'all did that again. I was like, so wait up. You mean to tell me? Because penultimate is really supposed to be the most action, and finale you're supposed to tie up loose ends. I had to explain
this to Meg. She was all excited because last week was shit, and like it's just like
the finale is supposed to tie up the loose ends of the conflict. But if you're giving me a penultimate episode with just build up, and then so you're telling me that because you're not gonna get through a crazy battle like this with all with what I seen in the trailer. That battle is not gonna even be complete. So we're gonna go into season 3 in the middle of a fight. No, I'm not saying you can't do it, because we've done it. But come on, bro. And y'all cheating us with 8 episodes. It's like y'all needed 10. Y'all needed 10 for this season.
And it's like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, what? And hey, listen, I saw a lot of people pointing it out on Twitter, and I guess maybe I knew it because I saw a map. I might have sent it to you of Westeros, but like, Dragonstone's right down the street. Like,
it's not far.
We've got all of the Power Rangers now. All she has to do is give him a quick 30 seconds on how to say attack and Dracarys in High Valyrian. Hugh's already on the back of his dragon. Off's fine off having a good time, but we've already got 2 other ones. Seasmoke's good to go. Go take him down now and why? Like, he just turned around.
Yeah, he hit that U-turn. Like that was pretty wild, but yeah, man. So I don't know. It was good, but it was like, I just don't like it. And so I can see where there's criticism where people are like, see, it's bad. It's bad writing. I don't think it's bad, but it's just not, it's not what I'm, it's going against my expectations.
What's so funny is
maybe I shouldn't have expectations.
Yeah. And now that I'm thinking about it even harder, it's like back in like episode like 4 or 5, people started sharing the trailer before even episode 1 dropped, saying like, yo, they played us. Like, they hyped us up for this huge, like, it's called Dance of the Dragons. And so far we've gotten 1. And like that's arguably the best episode of the season, you know what I mean? And just because the character and the emotional attachment, of course, we all will regard that as probably the best here forward. But like, that's it. That's all we've got in the chamber. That's what we worked 2 years on. How hard is it to CGI a dragon? You did it last season. Copy and paste, bro. Like, copy and paste.
How much does that cost? Like,
I figured it out years ago.
Yeah, the budgets are more. Y'all working less, and then y'all, y'all giving us less though. Like I just don't appreciate.
And bro, and like, yo, I saw an advertisement for like, I guess now this 8 episode thing coming next is like a behind the scenes of every episode series.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
And bro, they're talking about a direct quote from that trailer was the sets in season 2 are huge. They're way bigger and more explosions. And season 2 is all out. And I'm like, bro, we've been to the shipyard, we've been inside the castle, we've been in Dragonstone, and we've been in the air. So green screen, 4 rooms, and a hallway is all we needed. We haven't even seen Corlys on a fucking boat.
Yeah, nope.
He's the king of the seas, and we've never seen this man. We've never seen this man.
His sail. Never seen him sail in my life. Salt and sea my ass.
Like, so it's very interesting how like this episode was supposed to like just bring together a bunch of stories to get us ready for the season finale, and we opened up 10 new ones with not really too many answers. Nothing was going on really here. And I'm going to say one more thing and we'll get into it. Yep. I feel like we're a little too pissed off for the fact that we didn't get 1 second with Christian Cole this week.
Yeah, because even though I hate him, he is my favorite character to hate.
Not a scene with the man. Not a scene with the man, and we're still pissed off.
I appreciated that last week, but this week I'm like, this guy's not gonna. Yeah, and then basically, this motherfucker in the next episode, he's basically talking about like, yo, we about to die.
Let's go.
Get ready for
Get ready, Gwaine. Get ready, Gwaine. You think your brother with that little tiny baby dragon, you saw it in the trailer, it's like this big. It ain't getting shit. It's going to get munched up by Varaxis or whatever the fuck. Vermithor for a little baby snack. Like, it's just... Oh, man. Okay. All right.
It's crazy. All right. So this episode is called The Red Sowing. Yeah. So when you see that title, Levi, what are your first impressions? What do you think of that? Do you know that, like, did you have any inclination? Because I'm like, all right, Red Sowing, like sowing, you reap what you sow, that you plant certain seeds. I had to feel like blood or death is gonna breed like something or gonna grow. Something's gonna grow from death. I felt like
maybe in my initial, just on the other side of things, my initial thought maybe like the stitches Alicent needed for her scar that is parallel to the scar that Rhaenyra has from the cut that she gave her in season 1. So maybe that.
I didn't even think about that. And my man went deeper.
And maybe the intro with the stitching and the blood and so maybe. I'm not sure if maybe something there has to do with it, but I also like yours. And I mean, that's it could very well could be both. Okay. So interesting. I wasn't sure what to make of that title.
But I don't feel like after I've seen it, I don't feel like I got what I needed from that title. But we'll get into it. So this week again, we're gonna go. I mean, we are gonna go chronological order, but we are gonna focus on the characters themselves, and we're gonna kind of just run down like just different events and different things that happen with these particular characters. There might be some overlap here and there, but that's where we're going to focus on, just because the plot lines get a little bit blurry and certain things seem insignificant, right?
Let's do it,
So let's start with our main character, right? Rhaenyra, because she's in the opening scene and she's not fucking around, bro.
No.
Rhaenyra's not playing games. No. She's like, time out. Who are you? What are you doing with our dragons? This is a dragon this is my ex-husband's dragon.
Right, yeah.
Who are you, son? And what do you want? Like, stop playing with me. Like, it was like a showdown at high noon. And Addam, he's like, baby girl, I don't want no smoke with you. I don't want no smoke with you.
Here's the knee.
Matter of fact, here's the knee. But that's all. That will make me a little bit cautious too. I'm like, well, you giving up too fast. What's up? You know what I mean? And so that's where we're at. And
so
it's automatically she's like, who are your
yeah,
parents?
yep.
Who are you, son? And he's like, I'm Addam of Hull. But my mother was somebody, but my dad is of no consequence. Right.
And
So what did
so
you how'd you feel about that?
yeah,
That
so
opening?
what we have to remember is even though we know who he is and everyone else, they've never met, right? So she strictly thinks that this is just like an agent of Alicent, here to steal one of her dragons.
Facts.
And so I mean, it was bro was all smiles. My man was all smiles. He doesn't give a shit about war. He just wants to learn a couple words so he can help train his dragon and just fly off into the sunset. This is what he's been waiting for. And so he's like, yeah, right. Like you said, he doesn't want any smoke. He's just bending the knees, got a smile on his face because he finally got what he wanted. And he's like, we're ready to go. Welcome to Team Black. You know what I mean? And so obviously he knows who his father is.
Yes.
And so I guess, is that just like you can't, even though he knows, like he can't just say, oh, well, I'm not supposed to know, but theoretically it's Corlys. And then she's like, what? Like you can't.
I think if you're a bastard, I think it's just a custom that you can't just be going around unless people know you and like can point you out. You can't just be going around claiming that you somebody's kid because people probably gonna look at you crazy, depending on how high born or you know what I mean, the role of that person.
Yes.
But also, you run the risk of that man, not claiming you. Like they might be like, motherfucker, like think about, just think about celebrities and groupies claiming that they did this with a celebrity, and back in the day, because nowadays people be having evidence. But but back, you'd be like, oh, I slept with this person. And you'd be like, bitch, what you talk about? Like nobody believes you. And then it kills your own legitimacy for anything.
Right. Who's going to believe you? Right.
So it's like you got to keep it to the vest until your father claims you. You can't be like, you can't just be saying like, yo, that's my pops. Yo, that's my pops. Like, so I feel like he was doing that, but it was just so ironic. And then, right. So even though we are going to stick with Rhaenyra, but like just, kind of going with that scene though, he gets the Dragonstone, right? And dad is like, they're like, oh, yo, it's some dude that has a dragon. He worked for you. Like
Corlys knows him, right? Yeah.
He's like, well, let's not judge him. I don't know who you talking about, but let's just see.
Yeah.
And when he sees the boy, he's like, he keeps it professional. He's like, good job. And that good job meant a lot.
He
though.
says,
it wasn't just,
I think, well done.
Well done. Yeah. And although it's only 2 words, it is symbolic and it's deeper. It's like, all right, son, I see you. Like, you're coming up in the world.
I see that now. In the moment, I thought we could have gotten a handshake. I don't know. I thought we could have at least given this man maybe a pat on the shoulder, maybe like or maybe a nod or a wink, just something a little bit more. I get it. I said it a few weeks ago. The emotions, and like Corlys isn't trying out to really admit his mistakes, but like he's also not hiding them now either. Based on then his conversation with his other son, and so. But I mean, that was enough, right? It's just, that's where they're at. They understand their roles. They understand where they're going and where they, kind of can be. And Corlys is like, oh, by the way, you're fired, obviously, because you got better things to do now. It's just,
for sure.
So he's happy. And then I think that's pretty much it for his character and for this season or for this episode.
Yeah, pretty much. So so moving on, still with Rhaenyra, she gets this counsel from, she gets her counsel, her daily little meetings with Mysaria, and they're just kind of broaching this idea. And she's like, I just don't understand how, like, I got to look in these books, like where, and Mysaria's like, child, we don't got to look in the books, like
we got them right here.
Look at the sheets, like people be fucking, like it's bastards, like that's what you need to be thinking about, and so that's not going to be in the histories. They don't put bastards in the history books. So where you going, and you ain't gonna find it. So then she's like, well, maybe we gotta build an army of bastards and let's just bring them all here. Let's just bring them all here.
Yep.
And that is not sitting well with a lot of people. It's not sitting well with
Noah.
her son.
Yeah.
It's not sitting well with the dragon bearers.
Right.
And everybody thinks that she's batshit crazy.
It's the lowborn, they keep saying, and they keep referencing this, and I'm just like, oh, it feels a little racist. And it's just like, okay. And then like the more I watch, and then obviously the more things that happen, it's like, oh, I get it now, right? If she agrees to this plan, like her son is essentially now just one of those people. And so what does that mean for him? But everyone wants to know who this rider is. And like, she doesn't want to do this council thing anymore. She's tired of going to the council. Rhaenys isn't there. She has a hand. She ain't coming. She doesn't want to hear your opinion. She's got her girlfriend. She's got her girlfriend now, Massaria, and she's got all the answers. And she's like, listen, we're going to activate phase 2 of the peasant folks, and they're going to help us win this war. And it's like, I mean, hey, it's been working so far, so why wouldn't she continue to listen? Very interesting. She didn't make her hand. Is that a nobility thing?
I think it's part of nobility. I think you gotta kind of come from somewhere. Like you could be a master of whispers if you ain't got no family, but you can't be the hand, because like the hand sometimes that leads into other marriages, hence Addam of Hightower and stuff like that. So it's like you can't just. You really serve me no purpose other than giving me advice. Like you can't make my kingdom stronger or anything like that. So we got that, and so again, she has this army of people. So all these motherfucking bastards is just coming on the boats. Like they're just coming. They're coming on the boats.
Hey.
I mean.
You got silver hair. Let's go. Anyone? You got a little. They haven't had a chick with an afro. She just had a little bit. You see the little bit in her afro?
No, I didn't see
she was like, that was enough. Oh yeah, her afro was all black, and then there's just a little patch of white in the back, and they were like, yeah, that's good enough. That's fine. Just keep it coming. Yep, you got a little bit of white. It's just. Oh,
it's wild. It's wild. So she kind of does the same thing that she does last week.
Yes, auditions night.
It's auditions night. It's auditions night, and she's like. And you know what? I seen that picture of like all the dragons, and then I did see that Vermithor is the next one in terms of size, like after Vhagar. But I was like, who the fuck is Vermithor? Like I don't remember that. I thought it was like an ancient dragon.
It's her dad. It's Viserys.
Vermithor was Viserys' dragon?
Yeah, her dad.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's her dad's. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and then they're like, well, you know what I mean? Like we got Vermithor and we got this other one, and whoever the dragon's gonna come to you. And I just thought this was wild because like she did not give anybody any instructions at all. She didn't teach him not one word of Valerian or anything like that. She just like, I mean, and then when we see contestant number 1 come up, this mother
dude, the eye and the face.
Like bizarro.
Why did we let him go first?
Why did my man look he looked crazy. That was bizarro Aemond right there.
Dude.
Like that's what Aemond would look like if his eye didn't get messed up.
Yeah, man. So look, man. So two things about this scene. One,
it's a disaster.
Well, so let's just back up one step. Are you terrified for at least 30 seconds? Were you like, I mean, that might.
Yeah, I thought she was going to get eaten
her right there. Right. And him coming and the slowness and the music. I mean, I'm terrified. I'm terrified for 30 seconds. I don't know what's going to happen. I thought, you know what I mean? Right. She could have roasted them all right there. And it's just, and so. Then we get to the first contendant, and I mean this man, this poor man. It just
he looked like a Mr. Potato Head.
Why did we let him on the boat?
Where you like put the stuff on the wrong place?
Yes.
Like his eye was not where it was supposed to be, bro.
Oh man, it's so bad. His
looked eye was where his ear was supposed to be.
Right. It just wasn't good. And so this is where it just gets a little upsetting because in season 1, we directly defined the taming of the dragons as the singing and the commands and sometimes the people with the sticks and just this formality that you Targaryen noble blood, we are the dragon riders, some of us Valerians, like just because we have parents. And it's like this thing where you both have to be in sync and knowing what you're doing and in this world together to get a dragon. And up until this point, even in this season, that's been the rule. And now all of a sudden, we can just walk up to him. We can run away. Even after he gets,
you don't have to say any.
Even after
words.
They get pissy. Even after he eats
you
all of it. He eats.
You can just be like, and then it works.
And he's just fucking Vermithor. Just want a little hot Cheeto snack, just munching up these bastards like a bag of hot Cheetos.
I'm like, this is a horrible idea. Like, one, if it breathes fire, it's not just direct. It's not like directed fire at one person.
It's a whole room. Like, you got to get out of there.
What is wrong with you, lady?
It just Hugh was there to die. We learned that his daughter has passed away now. They couldn't save her. Like, he has nothing left to live for. Let this be it. He's ready to go.
Yep.
And
I knew that I knew his hair was not white for no reason, but they really did not get into who he was at all.
So in his conversation
until he started talking to his wife.
Yeah. And so he's Rhaenyra's brother or cousin?
No, he would be. All right. So
it's Daemon and Viserys' sister is his mom.
Daemon and Viserys' sister is his mom?
I think so. I think.
I thought his sister would be like Viserys or Daemon. I thought she said his sister's boys.
Okay. Okay.
Well, when I look it up, they said that Hugh actually has no direct link because it was wild because how like. It's almost like his mom was also like maybe she's like a Targaryen bastard because why is she a hoe? Like, why is she in the whorehouse?
So Hugh Hammer is the son of Sierra Targaryen. She was a princess who fled King's Landing to work in a pleasure house in Lys, Lys is how they spell it. Lys, sorry.
Yeah.
So a direct descendant. Like he's he's a Targaryen. All right, guys, listen, we couldn't do season 2 of this podcast without bringing some extra friends along. So we have incredible news. We have partnered with Central PA's newest business opening here in the Camp Hill area. It's called Fantasy Axe Throwing. Okay. These guys are a perfect match for what we are doing right now because they're not just your typical axe throwing place with the modern lanes with chains and everything. It's just every room is a different theme. They've got their enchanted forest, they've got their Vikings room, they've got their warlock's lair, and they've got their king's castle. You can sit in the Iron Throne itself in the king's castle. So you know what I mean? Whether you're the king or whether you think it's Rhaenyra, like whoever wants to sit in the throne has to do so at Fantasy Axe Throwing. So what we have done is we've partnered with them, Los, and we've got a promo code, okay?
Okay,
so if you go to their website to book any hour of throwing on Sundays, that House of the Dragon is on. So if you book your Sunday appointment at Fantasy Axe Throwing, get it done in the evening, then head home for the 9:00 premiere of each week's episode. If you use promo code Westeros, you're going to get $5 off your ticket from the Recap and Record podcast. Savings on to you. So you can check out our friends at Fantasy Axe Throwing at their website and on Facebook and Instagram, fantasyaxethrowing.com. We'll have links on the screen and everything down below in the description for you to check out there. And of course, maybe if you're lucky, you'll catch Los and I there throwing axes. We've got our passes set up and reserved, so we're ready to go. You excited, man? I'm
excited. That's dope, man. I was like, dang, they got all the theme rooms. I'm like, yeah, that definitely takes it to a different experience. And then, so you can have your own little team black, team green party. You know what I'm saying? Go there and then, see who's really
Yep.
who's really on top.
Yep, and it's a BYOB establishment.
What?
They do sell light refreshments there and some snacks as well.
Oh,
Is family friendly. They like it to be 12 plus, so if you've got some younger ones, maybe in the teens there to start, but adults, families, parties, couples, date nights, make it happen.
we about to turn up.
Dude, fantasy axe throwing. I mean, yeah, it's great. So head to their website. You can see, click on the book now button. You can see all the available times, the rooms, and everything you need to get yourself booked and start throwing with our friends at Fantasy Axe Throwing.
Dope, real dope, man. But like, so then Sierra though, is that Daemon and Viserys's like sister level, or is it like is it the next level up? Is it Balon sister? I mean,
I'm not
that's
sure.
what I thought he said. I thought the way he made it sound like maybe he's like a generation a little bit before even.
Okay. Either way,
either way, yeah. So, but yeah, that it was a wild story because it was like, yeah, my mom worked in a whorehouse, and then like everybody paid more for silver hair, and I'm thinking like, how does a Targaryen princess, a woman, how does she become in a brothel? Like, how does that even work? And so you're saying she fled?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Man, she must have some bad parents or something. I don't know what was going on. She was like, I do not want to have an incest kid, but I'm just gonna birth a bastard.
Yeah.
Or
so Hugh screams at the dragon, and that's all you need to do now. That is that is the bar. That is how you get a dragon. You yell at them. Yep. And if you yell louder than they are, then you can ride it. And that's how it works. And that's what we are to believe, because that's what the show does. It's just like what like fine, I guess. I don't know. Like, what are we supposed to do? I guess. Like, there's nothing else to talk, because it's just like irritating. And then like the guy, the producer at the end of the thing has the audacity to say, oh, well, we just didn't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, bro, next scene, what is it? Off-white walking.
All he has to do is step in.
Walking through some dragon shit. Right. And it's like, did he break an egg? Was that an egg I thought maybe we saw in there?
I don't know.
And it's like, and he just lays there. And it's like, okay, that's it. All you got to do is lay there. You don't actually have to say anything. I thought you had to yell at the dragon, but you just lay there, and then your dragon will lay down for you. And then boom, bam.
And what was his dragon's name? That's not Dreamfire, right? Dreamfire is Helena's dragon.
Yeah, that's Helena's. Damn, I didn't save it anywhere. Silverwing?
Silverwing,
yeah.
Silverwing, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
So
whose dragon was that? Did that belong to somebody, or is that just one of the ones that was like there?
I'm honestly not sure. Not sure.
That's fine.
There's too many. It's just a situation where I think we're just now we have to understand the heritage and bloodlines of all the bastards and all their princesses and then the dragon names, and it's like now nothing just it's kind of okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So a little bit all over the place, but I just thought that was just the way she just went about it was a disaster.
Sacrificing 60 people for 2 new dragon riders, babe. Let's go.
You got it. They couldn't go one by one.
I thought maybe they would have. Why wouldn't they have? Like what? Like you did with Darkland. Like, I mean, it's just very interesting how we can just change the rules of these and what they keep describing as ancient gods. We are here to serve them, these giant monsters that can burn us alive at any point in time. Remember that. They get a little pissy, they're going to climb up that little wall and just start burning shit. And it's like, hey, man, so we just change the rules with them every episode now, and this is where we're at. Okay, good, fun stuff.
So that's, I think that pretty much, other than the end scene, that kind of wraps up Rhaenyra. So let's kind of switch it up a little bit, man. Let's get a little somber, right? And her female counterpart is Alicent, right? So we'll focus on her now. Alicent will be pretty quick because not too much happens with her, but like Alicent, man, she don't know what the hell is going on in her life, man. So she decides, like, she's like, yo, I'm about to, you know what? I'm taking my night, and I just want to go on a random camping trip. Now, I ain't gonna lie, the way he looked at her, I think he thought he was about to get some. I think he thought he was like, is this how it goes down?
really?
Is this how it goes down? Like, does
gross.
Alicent ask you to go on the camera trip and then you could hit? Like, cause he looked a little nervous. Like, damn, I ain't never had no ass before. This
That's
woman
so
is looking.
funny.
This woman looking good. Like, is
Yeah.
this her MO? But like, nah, she just was like,
she's just having a mental break, fam. I said it last week. It's coming. We thought maybe she was gonna drown in that water, but it's a situation where, like she said, her everything is out of control. She had this plan, then every time her father leaves, things go haywire, right? And it's just like this situation where her one son tried to kill her other son, who can't really get out of bed at all, and the other son's just on this mega revenge mission against all his other relatives, and she can't control anybody. She's got fired from her job. She lost her best friend. She's bleeding. Her other daughter's kind of crazy, and it's like the only coming to realization that her only sane child is the one that she hasn't raised.
yeah.
And so it's just like going out into the woods and like, I don't really know if I want to go back. I mean, obviously she does, but like, okay, Alicent. Okay, fine. We'll just kind of let you do what you got to do for a whole episode. Again, could have scrapped that whole thing. Like, did we need, like, we knew she was struggling mentally, but like, fine.
That's what I'm saying. Even with Daemon, like you could have shortened that up, you know what I mean, and gave us some more stuff on the back end, whatever. But yeah, Alicent, it just was like, like, okay, I understand that she's sad and she don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's like, what is your purpose for being on the show? Like,
it's just like, right. And it's just like, so is her ultimate demise just coming like ASAP? Because it's either going to be by her hands or her son or, so Rhaenyra, a dragon or something. Like, it's just, it's got to happen soon, like, it's very interesting that we're just kind of wasting time with her. You know what I mean?
Yep. So then, off of her, let's get into like a secondary character that doesn't get too much shine, whatever. But this character missed a bunch of opportunities this episode, and I don't think he's not feeling it, whatever. But I'm talking about Larys Strong.
Right. Yep.
So Larys Strong, right? He gets some, some news of these rumors. So he's talking to the other guy in the council, and I forget his name.
And he's trying to get a whisper in to King Aemond.
So he's telling him about these rumors about Seasmoke. Like, yo, I don't know, man. Like, this might. And he's telling him like, yo, this might help you out, bro. Like, you might want to let fam know, and then maybe it's good for you.
Yeah.
And he's just like, bruh,
listen, he's like, hey, where did you hear that?
Where'd you hear that? And he was like, well, I heard it from
a
this person,
from a guy who knows a guy, who knows a guy, who's a guy who's a fisherman, who when he was on a boat saw a guy who saw the guy who saw the dragon, and then that's who told me about it. So
so let's just leave it. Let's leave it where it's at.
You probably just leave that whisper go, right?
And that was actually the wrong thing for him to do,
right?
And he, because he's constantly trying to get that validation. He's trying to get he's trying to move up in the world, and he missed a key opportunity. And it's funny because then later in the episode, when Aemond reacts, they look at each other. Because they think, well, they assume it's Seasmoke, but actually it's like, no, motherfucker, y'all don't even realize.
Right, secret missions.
They are on a secret mission gathering all these dragons.
And the waste of Aemond in this episode, just like so. And when Larys is and having this conversation, we see him in the background firing the Knight's Guard who failed to protect
Aegon's boys,
to protect his sister and his mom in the riots of the in the last episode. And so I think even in the books, I think he executes them. Like that's so I mean, we didn't see that. I would have rather seen that this episode. You know what I mean? Like offense number 3. And so, and then like, we just don't really get much with him. And like, we could have had a more detail, like they should have told him. And now it's like, he probably knows. Like, it's just, and just back to Larys, right? He doesn't trust this guy. He's like, why don't you just kind of forget it? And then the next time we see him is with Aegon. And Larys, I didn't quite understand it first, but then I'm like, okay, got it. Lars needs Aegon back in power because
Okay.
without Aegon being a fully functional king, he's just second rate to Aemond. So like, you know
Yes.
what I mean? Because Lars is supposed to be getting Otto Hightower. Lars is
Yes.
supposed to be getting Daddy Hightower back to be Aemon's hand, right?
Yes.
So the quicker he can get Aegon back on the throne and fully functioning, the quicker he can not have Aemond and Otto Hightower in place of where he was.
Yeah. So he's trying to play like super nurse or something like that, and trying to tell the Maester how to do it. And he was like, and they're basically fucking Aegon up, like they're pushing him too hard. And he's like, but motherfucker, you told me that he's like, yo, man, this guy ain't about to get no rest in a little bit, like, because I need him.
Yep.
I need him, and he needs to know that somebody believes in him. You know what I mean? Outside of you, you're a Grand Maester, like you care for people. Nobody else cares about this guy. I'm the only one, and that's gonna put me in good graces. I relate to him. You know what I mean? He's a freak of nature. I'm a freak of nature.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, I need him back. So like, I like what you said there. Like he's pushing, but he might be pushing a little bit too far. And it might be all for what? All for nothing. You know what I mean? Because what can this man, you know, how much healing can he do? And what are people going to even respect him? Are people even going to give him his position back? Like, I don't even know. How does that work? You know?
Well, it just, so I think it just automatically, when he decides to sit back down on the throne is when everything goes back to normal. But I think, like I mentioned, I'm almost positive I read something that like his reign is only 6 months, but I mean, in this universe, 6 months is like 6 years. So
yeah, that could be 6 seasons.
Right. We're on season 8 before Aegon's. Oh my God, please! We might have to stop if that becomes the case. Like if Aegon doesn't go in like season 3, episode 1 at least. Come on, man. Like, let's wrap this up.
That's right. Like, I can watch the show.
I thought, so, interesting. I mean, it's just the power struggle now is affecting everybody. So, Alicent just, I mean, she's just not needed.
Not needed. Yeah. So, all right, let's switch it up, man, and let's get into Daemon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So Dirty D, man. So Daemon, he's meeting up with Oscar Tully, who is Lord Paramount of the Riverlands, all together, right? And basically, little Oscar is telling him, "Yo, I mean, I know I did swear an oath, and we go by oaths, but fam, you fucked up." Like you realize that, like you fucked up, and you making it hot for me. I'm a young boy who's in charge of all these adults now.
Just happening, right? Yep.
And you making the streets hot for me, Daemon. so like, fam, what you gonna fucking do about it, right?
Right.
So then this just demonstrates again another example of why Daemon is not fit to be a king. He's not fit to lead. He's not fit to rule, right? And he's like, and he basically saying like, you're making it hot. And he's like, I don't need their love. I need their swords. And the boy Oscar is like, okay, that's gonna bite your ass in a second here.
Ultimate Uno reverse flip. Like he tells Daemon what he needs to hear until he gets him outside, and then just wheelbarrows in the gigantic balls he has as a 12-year-old. It's so, you know, it's basically now a quick mission on how we get the Lords of the Riverlands to love Daemon again, because we know what you did. Like, you know what I mean? You thought you were sneaky sly. Like, everyone knows. It's like, you know, we got social media now in Westeros. We know what's going on. We saw the Twitter posts. We saw TMZ. They updated the same day. So, like, you know, we've got
seeing somebody have to, like, that's the craziest feeling too. Like when you see somebody having to own up to their lies.
Bro.
Like, but they really don't own up to them. But like it's like in front of you, it just looks so crazy.
The back and forth.
That's what makes Daemon look so weak, because it's like you can't even with your chest, you can't even say like you did this, you did that. Like you still trying to like figure out a way to finagle out of that, whatever. And you are not a man of your word. And the fact is, you got way too much ego. Like you out here talking crazy. Like even now that he's presenting the problem, you out here talking like oh, like and he's like, do you want these swords or not? Like what's up? Like who you talking to, Damon?
Yeah.
Who you
and everyone,
because I got more power than you, motherfucker. You just the queen's bitch ass husband.
Dude, everyone.
I'm Lord Paramount of this whole shit, motherfucker.
Yep. And everyone loves, especially in this entire scene, loves reminding Daemon it's King Consort. Like, come on, bro. And so it just
it's KC. You're not king. KC.
The looks between Daemon and Strong in this scene of them just being what the fuck?
Strong is like, bitch, what you bringing all this beef to my house?
And it's just, man, the kid roast this man. And it's like, look, man, here's the issue. I'm laying down the law. All you people, you're going to follow me. You're going to support this man over here. I know you don't like him, but listen. He's gonna listen to me now because we have what he wants. This is our bargaining chip. This is the master plan. I only came up with it 10 seconds ago. Hey, bring me this guy.
He's gonna make it right.
Yeah.
We need justice. And watch, Damon's gonna make it right. Trust me. And Damon literally hangs Willem Blackwood out to dry. Like he hangs him out. R.I.P. And it's unfortunate because he was confident too. He was like, man, he's like, oh, Damon got my back.
He thought he had it in the bag. He's like, we got the traitors right here. I thought they were gonna murk those two dudes.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna kill those two dudes and be like, let's go. If we, you know what I mean? You want to line up next? We're gonna chop these guys' heads off, and any of you river lords who don't want to give us your army, we'll chop your heads off next, and then just take the army. Like, they'll follow my dragon. I've got a dragon.
I got a dragon.
Like, come on, bro. Yeah. I thought the kid was pushing it. Like, mind your tongue, boy. But like, hey, at the end of the day, it's all about that power and like where you
and
actually
still need these humans. You do need these humans on the side. So, whatever. You can't kill everybody. So,
I mean, just takes his boy, just losing his mind. Daemon is not where he should be mentally, and just obviously then just even the next scene with the decrepit brother in his bed with the crown. Like, why do you want this? And man, I guess that was it's just again the underlining question. Like, what is it? You have a dragon. You are essentially a demigod. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. You are a Targaryen. You have infinite resources and money. Like, what is it when you have so many people around you telling you, hey, the crown has destroyed us. It destroyed your brother. The throne, look, it's made of iron. You're going to get blood poisoning. You don't even want to sit. Like, Aemond won't even sit on the thing. Aemond doesn't even want to sit on the thing. Like, so it's like this weird, why do you, I guess it's that one last % of power? Is that?
Yeah.
Is that what the crown, I guess? But like, just how do you then still have that thought when this is what it's doing to you? You're beheading your friend. You're the guy you swore right by. You told him to do this. And so now you've got to go back on your word. Now you look like a little punk to this little river kid. And it's like, okay, like Daemon falling apart, but I guess we got the foot soldiers. We've got the army now. So good job.
Good job. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, Daemon really, man, this season, for as prominent, as prominent as he is, as fierce as he is, this whole season he's going out sad, man.
We built him up. Bro.
Yeah. He's really going out sad. So he's gonna need like a real, it's like Jaime Lannister, like what I mean. Jaime Lannister was on a pedestal and he was the fucking man, and then when he gets in prison and they cut off his best hand. it's like he has to build himself up.
Uh-huh.
So that's where we're at with Damon. Damon has to like build himself back up. And we don't know yet if he understands. I mean, like we see him having these visions, but like when it comes down to going back home,
Yeah.
is he gonna fall in line, or is he still gonna be having
because he's
like he's a hater? Like I mean, that's like the worst kind of friend. That's the worst person to have on your team. Is somebody who's plotting against you on your own team.
Yeah.
So it's like, what Damon are we gonna get when he goes back home?
Yeah. Well, that's if he makes it back home.
If he makes it back home,
and
yes.
So and it's like, more and more of these episodes show us that like we're now like almost positive that the Alice he's been talking to isn't the actual one. Maybe, I don't know. So it's like, it's a very, very, I think, very exhausting way to show us that the man is struggling mentally. And I feel like maybe let's just be glad we don't have 10 episodes. Like we don't have 2 more episodes of this, because it's like, what more? This has to be it. Like, you know what I mean? Like we got to mount up. We got to get him on the dragon. Like the dragon's pit. Dragon thought he was leaving last week. And so, but now we got to stay another fucking week. It's just, it's very, it seems like a waste of a character, unfortunately. I mean, obviously he plays a role in history, but to the extent of the build up and development that we got last season with this man, it just kind of seemed like it fell through.
Yep. Let's so that's with Damon, and we'll see what his outcome is, and maybe his future demise. There's another secondary character, Rhaenyra, is pretty quick to go through her, but her stay is over. Her stay at the Eyrie, in the Vale is over, and Lady Jane could not be happier. Right. And she's like, hey, get the fuck out of here.
Out. She's like, yo, you promised me dragons. You gave me these little baby joints. I can't really do anything with them. And so you guys got to go.
So even though the stay is over, there's no vacancy left now. She's supposed to be leaving, but then Rhaenyra, we see her veer off, and now she's on this quest to obtain this wild dragon. But my thing is, like, I get that that's a necessary risk. However, what if it doesn't work out? Who the hell is taking care of Rhaenyra's boys then?
Well, listen,
if something happens to her,
I mean,
is she gonna get a dragon? Is she getting this dragon?
Yes, and so that's the issue, right? It's that it's just it's like, it's a spoiler alert. We know from the lore she gets it, right? So, but like, even if we didn't know that, how obvious of a plot line is it that we keep bringing up the fact that she tried and didn't succeed the first time, and we keep going back to her with this look on her face now that she knows there's a wild one out there, and apparently this one's like second.
Her face is like that.
This one's apparently like. This one's right, yeah, dude. She's always looks scared, like she's scared, right? Like what do you expect? Apparently this one's like the second or third largest. Like it's another biggie. So, but hey, so if this is just another obvious plot point that we know we're going to get to, why not with the already 1, 2, 3 new dragon riders? Why not give us just one more? Have that listen, this episode could have been redeemed if they would have cut all of Alicent's bullshit. We didn't get Christian Cole, so we didn't need her either.
Yes.
Maybe cut the scene with the king in half, maybe, and then give us Rhaenyra getting the dragon.
Yes.
And then the closing scene is the same.
Yeah, with copy and pasted the scene.
No. Listen. Keep the closing scene of this episode the same, with Aemond turning around, and as Rhaenyra is like this big dragon queen, we see Rhaenyra come in on the wild dragon, land, cut to black. We could have saved the whole season. I understand that that's not how it goes in the books, but we've already changed so much.
Right. We're making people black. We're making people gay.
I swear to God, if they would have given her the dragon this episode and she would have landed beside Rhaenyra, with her dragon to make it a full, what then would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 dragons now. Like it would have been something that would have saved it. It would have saved the whole season. It would have saved this penultimate. It would have made up for the fact that it's not 10 episodes. Christian Cole, everything would have been forgotten. And it would have been the episode we expected. Everyone was telling us this episode was supposed to be the best television they've ever seen.
And it was like 70 minutes too. And it was like I said, and it was like, but what for what?
We saw
what
nothing.
We didn't, the same. So, like Damon's conflict and all that could have been 2 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like
should have been.
You drag basically this Rhaenyra stuff into like 3 episodes, which should have been like, all right.
Should have been a scene.
The girl is upset.
Right.
You kicking her out.
Yeah.
And then now she finds a dragon. Like, I mean, like, wrap it up, B.
Yep.
Wrap it up, B.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So Addam of Hightower still MIA. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they're not paying. They're obviously not paying these guys. They're paying them per episode. So it's like you're saving money by leaving some of these people off. So what's it going into? It's not going into telling the story.
Man, yeah.
So So that's pretty much it. Let's just touch on Jace real quick.
Yeah.
Just because this goes back to a lot of the stuff that I've been saying from the beginning of this season, and just how like legitimacy matters, man. And perceptions matter, and so Jace is like, and he's been going back and forth with his mom all season, right? I mean, like he was a good little boy, but he's upset. Like, I mean, like all this extra stuff. I mean, my little bro died because of all this.
He grew up quick.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You got this, my uncle, stepdaddy. You know what I mean? He don't know. He's losing his. I mean, my uncle stepdaddy don't know what the hell he doing.
And now his mom's got a new stepmom. Like Jace has a bunch of parent issues, and it's like, hey, how many does he actually? Jace has the most, I think, parents in the show. Like
he got more parents than that little story I sent you about the Facebook, the Facebook messages with the mom. Oh my, that was messy. But that's kind of his situation though. Yeah. So Jace, he just, again, we're talking about legitimacy and we're talking about the lore and we're talking about the story with all these dragons and things like that. And he's like, Mom, this doesn't feel right. Like, how can anybody ride dragons? And like you said earlier, it's like, well, if anybody can ride a dragon, like how does that make me? And I'm no different than Off-White.
Yeah.
I'm no different than Hugh because I'm a bastard, and he really sets it on his mom. He asked her when he was a young boy if if
my bastard,
my bastard, whatever, and he sets it on her. He's like, Mom, like, because that's the thing. Rhaenyra does not think about consequences. Like she grew up not thinking about consequences. Right. Because she just was doing shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And so he's like, Mom, did you think about this when you was getting your swerve on with my real dad? Like, did you think about like what I would look like, how people would perceive me?
Yeah.
Did you think about that, Mom?
Like
when you were with Sir Harwin Strong.
Damn, dude. Damn. Yeah, and I mean, this is just another, isn't that such a powerful moment that they have for this show? Because isn't it funny that in the books, it's his idea to make the bastards dragon riders, and he declares that anyone who can ride a dragon will be granted land, riches, knighthood, and their families will be ennobled. Yeah. So just very interesting lore and the opposites of the two difference there. And I mean, I fully agree. I mean, man, look, it's just snappy. He knows he has grown up. He knows what needs to be done. We need Daemon and his dragon. We need this army, and we should have had it yesterday. And so it's just, it's a situation where she hasn't checked him. She's always just hugging him and being like, look, well,
because she knows she did wrong. She knows she did wrong.
Right. And she can't, for her own legitimacy, I think, admit it. Right. It's like, look, bro, the plan worked, kid. We've got 2 new ones and the 3 technically. And so, their relationship is quite the interesting story that they're telling here. It's clear that he has a very, very hard time accepting that power dynamic. It's kind of the more this goes on, I think the more he's siding with like the men on her council, in the sense of like, he even says it this week, like, was this Mysaria's idea? Was this her idea to get the peasants involved? What is wrong with you? Where's the next noble person? Like, you can't, it's me, your son, remember, the bastard? Like, come on, Mom. So just the parenting. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't, he's quick and he knows what he's doing. And I hope, I think he has a positive outcome. I'm not entirely sure, but he's a character to watch. Certainly to see if he makes it to season 3 and how big of a time jump we get, and then where his position goes as far as authority, maybe.
Yep. And then I guess just to wrap it up would be just Aemond real quick. I mean, like, again, we already touched on him.
Yeah.
Right. But this episode, again, like we're just seeing how certain people are maybe they're not the best choice, I mean, to be in rule. Like, he does have some good war tactics and strategies and things like that. But kind of like Daemon, he always shows something where it's like, you're not really fit. So he hears about this rumor. So, like, the end scene, he hears about this rumor that there's these dragons, whatever. People are like, dragons, what the fuck? Oh my God. He's a fucking dragon. And he doesn't talk to anybody, because that's what your council is there for, bro. Like, I mean, and again, he don't have no council right now. He wants his grandfather, but his grandfather is MIA still.
Yeah.
Right.
At the very least, he should have been like, hey, ready the troops, go get Helena and her dragon just ready on standby, and find my mom and do this and that, and then go get the dragon. Like, but no, you're just gonna go.
He just hops out. He basically in his drawers. Yeah, I mean, like I mean, he gets his flip flops on, his Crocs on, and he just hops on a dragon, and he's like, And I'm thinking, like, young boy, what did you think you was about to do?
Well, I think, you was
just gonna burn Off-White.
Hey,
like, okay,
the same thing Rhaenyra did at the end of last episode, to find out who it is, if they need to engage in war, if it's another dragon he needs to munch on. And I already said it. I mean, this scene, I thought this was it. I thought, you know what I mean? I thought they were going to come out. I thought that this was going to be the battle. I thought Daemon was going to come in and save the day. And then that was going to be the big event. And then he's just like, nah, Veg, turn the bitch around.
Well, because he realized
he was
like,
scared, right?
I
got of shit, like
a little bit over my head, like, oh shit,
right?
Like,
and it's just like, okay,
like my dragon can't beat 5 dragons,
right?
Like, it can beat him, even though most of these dragons are a lot smaller. Vermithor is the only one that has that size, other than this wild dragon, maybe. But
And I mean, just drunk Off-White on the back of a dragon, not knowing what he's doing, having a blast. They interviewed that guy and was like, hey, if you take notice, my character's kind of the only one that really ever smiles. And so he just said he was having fun. Like, he said Off-White is like the only guy on the show that doesn't care about being king or anything else that's going on. He's just there to have a good time, and he just so happened to wander into a dragon's den. And interesting to see where his fate ends up. Probably again. So next week, is that where we're at?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, based on the trailer for the finale, I guess they're gonna give us what they gave us last season. Something big, hopefully, will happen. I can only imagine. Maybe not. Maybe who knows?
Yeah, we're really about to get it. We're about to get a cliffhanger battle, which I just don't like it, man.
Right.
I don't like how that sits.
Especially with what we don't get season 3 until 2026.
Oh my God.
I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan. Like,
that sounds probably. That's probably.
I mean,
more accurate than not.
I mean, we're gonna have freaking Robert Downey Jr. back in the MCU before that. So,
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I mean, it's just this, okay. And so, right. So next week we see a few significant things. One, we see Darren riding on his dragon that's this big. Two, we see Alicent just once again confronting Aemond, just like, look, man, what's your problem? Because like he's now recruiting his sister to ride her dragon, which I'm pretty sure she just like, I don't think she does, or maybe just for a very, very small amount of time. But she's not, I don't think she's with us too much longer either. But like, it's just, and that's it. You know, I think as far as significance in the trailer, I watched it a few times and that's all I could really pull from it.
Well, you see a lot of different foot soldiers. It seems like a lot of, foot soldiers and stuff like that. But it's still.
That's it. This is the other news.
Because it's like, no, we're not going to get. Here's the thing. We're not going to get an ultimate winner in this next episode.
No,
there's no way.
No, I don't think so. No, there's way. We still have. Based on what I know about the books, we still have 2 to 3, potentially 4 major events in the overall Dance of the Dragons. That is in no way happening next Sunday. Like, there's absolutely no way we go from. I think you're right. I think it's. So next week we get the Winter Wolves from House Stark. They're going to make their first appearance in the finale, and just another change from the original lore. Our friend Lord Cregan Stark, who we saw at the beginning of this season, is not with them in the books, but he will be, I think, next week. We're going to see him again. So. Lots of armies marching. Let's pray for a gigantic, crazy dragon battle. You know, that's what we were what should have happened this week, I guess, but I guess not. And so now we can just put House of the Dragon up there as every other show, where the season finale is where the big bad things happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Last season we lost the boy to Vhagar. And now I can only imagine that the events of next episode will involve Vhagar. Like, I could have sworn the trailer for this week showed Daemon on his dragon mounted up. And we didn't see that this week. So, so that's got to be coming. So, I mean, I guess we'll wait and see, you know?
Yeah. Wait and see.
Any other notes? Any other thing you can think of to maybe?
No, man. I think we covered it all this week.
Yeah. So we've got just some last ditch effort hopes to get a team of dragons together. Rhaenyra still thinks. I mean, she said it in this episode. She still thinks that with these dragon riders, she can basically just get them to bend the knee, and that they won't have to lose the lives of thousands of people. And she can just kind of take over the Seven Kingdoms with all of now her army of dragons. Her army of bastards, as she calls it.
Yes, army of bastards. Yes.
So we'll see how that plan for her plays out. You know what I mean? We will. We'll see. We'll see. Did we find? I guess one last question. Maybe I missed it. Maybe we talked about it. I'm just forgetting. The guy she sent from her council to Harrenhal to see what Daemon was up to. I think last week. Did we get that closure or no? Not yet. Did he make it there?
Well, it was it the old man that she slapped, or it was that other guy from 2 or 3 episodes ago?
No, it was the other guy, I think. Not
no, I don't think he
he's just on his way, I think.
I guess so.
Maybe?
Like, it takes motherfuckers forever to travel. Yeah, that's the problem. It's too much travel time. Like, they can fast forward some of that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right, fam. Well, listen, next week, we'll see, and we'll be back. And you know, I mean, we'll hopefully we'll get redemption, because this episode what, 6 was okay.
7. Yeah.
Right, but but even episode 6 was okay. 7 was this was meh. So now we've got a season finale, 1 episode left. I think 70 minutes they said.
Yeah.
So an hour 10. Okay. Well, all right, let's go. I mean, you can only be excited. We can only be excited if this is the bar, right? We now have the only thing left we have to do is use the dragons. If we spend all this time preparing and people having the dragons and the dragons sleeping in the woods and dragons taking naps and the dragons in the dens, we've got riders for them now. So let's ride them. Like let's get some action going. King's Landing's only a 5-minute flight away. We could have this whole thing wrapped up in the opening scene of next episode, we're not. Obviously, we're not. It would be dope, but we're not. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, penultimate energy or not, another episode down, another episode to be had. Please like, subscribe, get those numbers up for us, and we will continue to do our very best here. Los, any closing thoughts? Anything else to say to the peeps?
Man, they just need to step it up a little bit. I love this show, and I don't want to. I don't want to find reasons to hate the show. So
we said the same.
Don't, make my job easier, please.
We said the same exact thing at the close of last year's penultimate episode. Until next time, everybody, we'll see you next week.